Alright guys, here we are back with the Merc. Dad's starting to make a little bit of progress out here. Just a little bit of clutter around. We got a little more room to work. You can actually see the roof of the car now, so that's cool. For those of you that may have missed the first little video, it was just kind of an introduction to see what kind of interest there might be in the project. And I was really surprised at how many people really thought the car was cool and wanted to see more about it and follow the build and the motor going back together and all that kind of stuff. So I'll start trying to record that as we do it. For those that didn't catch that other video, it's a 1950 Merc. My grandfather got out of the service shortly after World War II, went to work as a mechanic at Ford dealership in Oregon and bought the car new, and it's been in the family ever since. It's been a little while since it's seen the light of day and been on the road, but we're slowly making progress to getting back there. Things really got held up with COVID. Like I said, getting parts seemed to prove near impossible. I think Dad's finally got all the parts that we need to go back together with it. We got the block back from the machine shop, and today Dad's working on some valve assembly, so we'll kind of go through that, and I'll be learning along with you guys kind of how we assemble these. It seems to be a bit of a tedious and time-consuming process. Some of you guys may or may not know more than I do. He's got a few set up here and going that he's working on. Got all new valve springs with it. Somebody was asking in the other video, he had the machine shop installed hardened valve seats in the block, and we got all stainless valves to go in there. So that's probably as far as we're going to get today. We'll be lucky if we get these all set up, but we'll walk you guys through one in case you're curious. And then as we progress, we'll get another video going from there. Alright, so Dad's got one loose out here on the bench. We'll kind of show you how he loosely assembles the valve assembly.
So we got the new valves. Valve guides are still in good shape. And I've done like 5 or 6, I guess 5 of these valve spring assemblies. And so far I've had to use at least 2 shims at 60 thousandths of each to get my, I'm aiming for a 2-inch spring compression. That's what both ISKI and comp cams recommend for their cams, is an 85 pounds valve seat pressure. And so you have to set the distance between the top and bottom of the spring at 2-inch to get the 85 pounds pressure. So this is just a softer spring. It makes it easier to work with than those stiff springs that I'll show you in a bit. But take this and put it in the valve chamber. Oh, I gotta get a keeper. Okay, so we got that in the valve block. Now I need to pull it down and get the keeper in. If anybody has worked at all with these valves and these flatheads, there's not much room for this keeper.
Yeah, hopefully that's showing up on the video. It's hard to even get a camera in there to get a good angle on that.
The advantage on the intake, I can reach in the intake port and pull that valve guide down. There's the groove the keeper goes in. Okay, got that in place. Now with my inside mics, I go in there and measure from that bottom, the last shim, to the retainer at the other end of the spring. And the goal is to achieve a 2-inch dimension. And check that by going to the calipers. You know, about 2 inches 50. So I'll probably need to add one more shim.
So as you can see, this is why this process is a little bit tedious. How many times you got to go back and forth with these to get it shimmed properly. Then put the actual spring in there and put it back together for the final time. And when you got 16 of them to do, this could eat up a little bit of time.
It takes a little patience.
It's got to be done. If you're wondering, this is the fancy little valve tool picked up just for this job. Who we get this? Speedway Motors?
Yeah.
I suppose you could make something, but does the job.
Hoping not to have to use 3. But... Let's see what we get now.
Help if I hold that one for you.
I've got it. As long as it stays on there, we're good. And there we're right at just a couple of thou above 2 inch. So we'll call that one good.
Now we get to pull it apart one more time.
One more time to put in the stiff spring. Then I like to put a little assembly lube on the valve stem. Oh no. A little more challenging with the
Definitely
stiff springs.
stiffer spring, huh?
that in your way, probably. Get it out of my way. Okay. Just double checking this one just because it took 3 shims. It's about 10 under 2 inch. We can live with that.
Okay. So that's kind of the process. That's what, 6 of 16. I won't record them all. And you guys have seen us go through the process with one. On with the next.